Well, yet another disgusting betrayal emerging. The UK taxpayers are going to be forced to hand over money to the European Union that the UK will continue to pay Brussels in the future, thanks to decisions made by this Labour government. I have to say, our Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, increasingly totally out of touch with reality. I mean, in England alone now, you've got 1.3 million people currently stuck on waiting lists for housing. And this is what the Prime Minister had to say about housing stock recently.
What other accommodation precisely are you planning to take over to provide temporary accommodation for families?
Oh, there's lots of housing in many local authorities that can be used, and we're identifying where it can be used. But I mean, look.
Can you give us? Have you got any examples you can give us?
No, but I'll write in and give you details.
Because I could say certainly in a number of our local authorities, already picking up from around the table, there isn't a lot of spare housing available. If there were, councils would be able to be dealing with it by now.
Well, exactly.
I mean, what on earth is he on about? And decision after decision after decision that we're seeing being made by this government is absolutely diabolical. And we look now at this push from Labour to tie the UK to the European Union. That is what their recent deal was all about. In fact, it was so bad that they actually allowed this term in the deal, anticipating a reform government that would effectively allow the EU to try and punish us if we take back control of our fishing waters from the obscene rip-off deal that Labour agreed with the European Union. And when it comes to migration, when it comes to open borders, well, just look at this so-called youth mobility scheme that, again, Labour seem hell-bent on doing with the European Union. Reform MP Lee Anderson absolutely clear in pointing out here that immigration is a top concern for voters, and yet it looks like free movement by the back door for some EU citizens is on the way. Once again, Labour clearly not learned anything, clearly not listening. And then we come to paying the European Union. This is truly staggering. Thanks so much to Outskill for sponsoring today's video. And as I'm sure you've noticed, the use of AI is absolutely exploding right now, and that is a trend that is set to continue. It's going to have a big impact on the economy, a big impact on businesses, and of course a big impact on workers. Everything right now is moving at lightning speed, and AI is already changing things. It's not a matter of if it will, it already is. So with that being said, let me introduce you to the 2-day AI Mastermind happening this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. 2 days with expert mentors, 16 hours of learning. Now, normally this would cost hundreds of dollars, but I partnered with Outskill, the world's biggest AI education platform, to give away 1,000 free seats to my viewers for the next 72 hours. Now, the AI Mastermind has been attended by 4 million people across the globe in the last 12 months. And in this training, you'll get in-depth knowledge on a wide range of topics. So grab your free seat, and you can find the link in the description and save your seat now before it expires. See all the information below this video. And yeah, so the so-called EU reset deal has this tucked away in it. New EU documents revealing that as well as having to follow EU rules and guidelines and all sorts of things, the UK will contribute as yet unknown financial contributions to their regulators. And you've got Richard Tice there of Reform saying by signing this deal before even agreeing how much these payments will be, Starmer has effectively signed a blank cheque on the UK's behalf. And of course, we shouldn't be paying a penny. But this paper stating that the UK should bear the appropriate costs for participation, that the UK should contribute financially to supporting the relevant costs associated with the union's work in policy areas. And rather than, taking advantage, maximising Brexit competitive advantage, for instance, by getting rid of the net zero agenda, the green targets, and saying to industry and business, come and invest in jobs in this country, in industry in this country, because we're not going along with all this. That would be taking competitive advantage, distancing ourselves from this damaging agenda that the EU are following. Instead, we see a government aligning with the EU on net zero rules, aligning on a number of sectors rather than taking Brexit competitive advantage. And by the way, this will all be overseen, you've guessed it, by the EU's court. So I think that as a package is pretty horrifying. Please do let me know your thoughts though in the comments below. Please do whack this video a quick thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.